This is Christian Schneeweihs with Bare Knuckle News, and I'm here with the winner of the first fight of the night, Adam Nash. What a spectacular knockout performance in your debut. What do you think about it?
I think I love it. I think I'm not a runner. I want to fight. So the Trigon, that space, I think they got video earlier of me when it was just me. I was giddy like a little kid because I was running around like, there's nowhere to run. This is amazing. Let's fight. We don't need to. Defense is defense, but I'm not running. So I loved it.
Now we know you have an MMA background. How were you able to adapt to the bare knuckle game so fast?
Great trainers. I train under Alan Belcher, world heavyweight bare knuckle champ. All my teammates, Monica Medina, Brandon Michael Davis, Chase Sherman, Mikey Sanford, Jason Knight, all my guys that train bare knuckle from the gate when it started, bare knuckle fighting. They're like, this is for you. This is what you will love to do. I've been through a lot in the past few years, but the goal has been to get to do this. So to do this and have the performance I did, I would have loved to go in 5 rounds, but I love it. I can't wait to do it again.
Is it always something you wanted to do already? I mean, you haven't fought MMA in 10 years. You haven't fought bare knuckle ever. It's late in the game, but never too late, I guess.
No, yeah. I'm 40, first of all, before anybody asks you how old I am. I just turned 40. I know I'm older. I started MMA 10 years past the guys I was training with. Everybody I fought or trained with 10 years ago has been in Bellator, UFC. They've been world level, champion level fighters. Bare knuckle to me, I've just always wanted to conquer that. I set goals for myself of things I want to do. One of those from fighting, as soon as bare knuckle became, an acceptable, whether it's boxing or MMA, whatever it is, I was like, I want to do that. And every one of my friends again was like, dude, you're going to love this. So turns out they were all right, because that was without a doubt the most fun I've had fighting that I can remember.
Your opponent had previous bare knuckle experience.
Yep.
If you didn't, how did you overcome that gap in experience?
For me, really with any fight, experience is great. You can have done it before me. You can have, plenty of all that. And I get it that helps build you. Mine is mindset. I trained some for Jonathan Noah. Realistically, I trained myself to be prepared. My knuckles, I was ready for them to be cut, bloody, bruised. I was ready for my face to be all jacked up. I took extra time off work for it. I just feel like mentally, I'll take myself against almost anybody in the world when it comes to that part.
Now we saw you with a lethal southpaw left hand, right? Your power hand. I guess you were aware that this was a very, very strong suit, even though you were in MMA, but now as a striker here,
yeah,
striker makes you even stronger.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because I grew up wrestling. Even when I fought MMA, I didn't strike. I'd walk towards and let you punch me just to get a hold of you and take you down. Getting to stand and not have to think about takedowns or anything else, I guess it's just like a lot of the other wrestlers you see that we never know it until we try it. All of a sudden you hit somebody and you're like, man, I guess that was pretty hard, huh? And that seems to be the case.
What did you do differently in preparation for this fight? What do you do as a bare knuckle fighter now compared to what you have ever done before?
In all honesty, becoming more patient I like to bang. I'm not a let me bang bro guy, but I like to fight. So the biggest thing that my training partners, friends were able to tell me was that you got to be more selective in bare knuckle because of the damage it can do to you. So I tried to really slow down and just work on pace and just being ready to get hurt or hurt somebody, I guess.
The Trigon is a really unique space in surface in combat sports. It's so small. What makes you so comfortable in there?
No space. You can't run. I'm not fast. I hate running. I'm a fat kid at heart. I love trashy food and not doing cardio. Put me in the smallest ring, yes. Like the bigger the ring, the more cardio I have to have. Nothing wrong with cardio, I guess, but I'm not trying to move around a lot. Let's stand there, let's fight, let's see who falls first. That's what I want. So that was amazing. I loved it.
We've talked to many fighters before, and the sensation of connecting with your bare fist to somebody's face is something that they never forget.
Yeah.
So how about you? How did you feel that sensation?
Man, the first time I dropped him, I genuinely did not feel the punch at all. Like I know I went over. I'll have to watch it to see exactly what it was, but I feel like I threw a straight cross, and I just knew I threw it. And when I looked over, I saw him going down, and I was like, I landed? All right, cool. And yeah, it was, I love that feeling. Not to sound like a psycho or anything, but the feeling of just using knuckles and nothing else, sign me up every day. I'll fight again later tonight if they'll let me. Like, I want more money, but I'll fight again. I loved it.
It was almost a home game for you. You're probably going to sleep in your own bed tonight,
Yeah,
right?
I
So
am.
you just drove over here from Mississippi. How did it feel coming out here in Louisiana? That was actually the first time BYB has ever been here.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. It worked out phenomenal for me. I have a wife, I have a family, I have a job. Less time away is better for me. I want to be with my family. You know, I FaceTime them every day. I promised my daughter I'll be home tomorrow morning. May stay tonight, but I'll be up early to go home. Can't wait. Love being able to come over here, knowing so many people I see from being in this for 10 plus years. It's very cool to see for the first time to be around people. I've got friends that were able to come. I love that. That was amazing to me.
You said you would love to fight later again tonight, so
Yeah.
we're definitely going to see you back in the BYB Trigon.
If they, yeah, immediately.
Who do you want to face?
Anybody. I'm like, let me be clear. Number one, I'm saying this while I stand on a stool. So I do feel bigger than I normally am. But I have no misconceptions of, I'm not calling out champions. I'm not calling out really anybody. I just want to fight. I started fighting because I wanted to be that guy. You see so many people in rocking chairs when they're old talking about how tough they were. They never fought anybody. You fought somebody in a bar one time. I started fighting because when I'm in my rocking chair, I want to know where I stand. Was I a tough guy or was I not? Either way, whoever I can fight to prove that to myself, that's what I want to do.
And finally, they call it a Grizzly. Where does that nickname come from?
So back before this is all vitiligo. I went all white about a year ago after some cancer treatments. Before then, I had a very big, brown, dark, brown, red, beautiful beard. So they just, at the gym, my coaches, with my fighting style of just constant forward motion and aggression, plus my gigantic beard, I ended up Grizzly. Now it's stuck. Now it doesn't change.
You just mentioned your treatment a year ago. Overcoming this, how much more mental strength does it give you in situations like this down there in the Trigon?
I think a lot. I don't sit and dwell on things. I never dwelled on when I was going through treatments, but knowing I can get through that and I fought the entire time I was getting treatments, and I still fight now. So it feels great to kind of be myself. I feel good, real good right now, and fighting like this shows me it was more than just me trying to get through something. Shows me that it was what I wanted to do and what I still want to do.
All right, Adam, congrats on your successful BYB debut. Sensational. Now we're looking forward to the rest of the night. My name is Christian Schneeweihs, and I'm here with...
Adam Nash.
And no one beats us to the punch. Logan Speyrer, congrats on your victory tonight. A first-round stoppage. How do you feel right now after this win?
It's hard to put it into a word how I felt, but good. It felt great. You know, sadly, you know, I had to hurt a guy for it, but that's not why I do it. I really don't like hurting people. I don't like punching people. I don't like kicking people. But what I really don't like is a regular job.
So that's your main motivation? You like this more than a regular job?
I feel like we've come to a point where we live in such a consumer society that what am I going to apply my energy into? A grocery store, you know, things like that where people are just buying junk and all that. That's not where I'm trying to put my energy into. In fact, I'm taking this money, and what I want to do is go onto into a yoga retreat kind of place and really get this right. Get this instrument made by a higher intelligence. I want to get it running right. And that's actually my main objective for doing this circus, is to open up people's eyes to the power of yoga. Look into it. Yoga is more than just stretches and poses. It's more about how to properly manage and maintain the human instrument and the mind. And that's what I want to spread. And it's my wish for humanity to open their hearts up to one another, to where we're not so separate, we don't feel so separate from everyone else, and not everyone's so arrogant and closed off and bitter. Sweetness goes a long way, and that's My religion is sweetness and kindness.
As you say, it seems kind of counterintuitive for a fighter
Yeah.
to be that well-balanced, peaceful, loving.
Yes,
But
yeah.
at the same time, it's a great opportunity to educate people about what great human beings fighters actually are. Right?
Yes,
because
man,
we see
yes,
it every single
yeah.
day when we interview fighters, how great of a person they are.
Yeah, we have there's this kind of this idea that we're kind of just barbaric creatures that, and some people do act that way, don't get me wrong, but they're just kind of channeling that energy. Me, I know what it means to be a human, and there's power in that. It's the most powerful thing you can be as a human being. And yeah, training in martial arts actually, I mean, I think it saved me in a way. You know, it gave me something to do where in a society where there's lack of spirit, lack of spiritual culture. So martial arts is the next best thing. But I'd like to integrate those two things, yoga and martial arts, just like they do in like Shaolin monk training and stuff like that. I'd like to have that in Opelousas because there's nothing like that there. It's very, very dead area. I'd like to spread it all over Louisiana.
It's a great philosophy you have. So before the fight though, how do you switch into fight mode? Is that kind of a light switch you turn on?
Tonight, my opponent switched it on for me. I was kind of a little feeling lackadaisical, but as like he landed the first punch to my head right here, I was like, oh yeah, all right, yeah, we're in a fight. And my hands, I train them every day, always training the shoulders and the legs, so they kind of just flow on their own. I've had really good coaches in the past, boxing coaches, MMA coaches. I'd like to shout out some of those gyms.
Go ahead.
I'd like to shout out, first of all, my home gym from Opelousas, Louisiana, Team Juggernaut. It's my base, jiu-jitsu, it's a jiu-jitsu gym. And then Flash MMA and Lafayette and Tony's Boxing. I haven't been in the gym lately per se, but my heart goes out to all those people who have helped me do anything. You know, I've lived at the gym, you know, and at Flash MMA for a while, and it's just transportation is an issue sometimes, and when you're trying to really do this, you kind of pinching pennies, you know. But I can take this all away if the money's right, because I'm gonna need the money. But I can take it all away and get the title if that's what I choose to do, if it's necessary. You understand?
Now, this was an incredible debut tonight here in your home state of Louisiana, in
Yes,
New
sir.
Orleans.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
basically a home game for you, right?
Yes, exactly.
How did that feel?
I mean, I'm not really a nationalist per se, but if Louisiana needs some representation, I'm here. But shout out to my opponent and his home country, Ukraine. I'm for the whole world. This is all inclusive. My heart is for everybody, not just one country.
Now, where do you want to go from here? Do you have anybody specifically you want to fight, or it's not even about the opponent, it's just about the spirit?
Yeah, it's about the spirit. I mean, whoever's up next, I don't have a grudge against anybody, so, you know, whatever.
How were you able to adapt so quickly to the bare knuckle game? This was your debut tonight.
Because this ain't my first bare knuckle fight, man. I mean, in a ring in front of people, but I've knocked out, I've fought more people bare knuckle than I have in any ring. And I've had some tough battles, like with multiple opponents at the same time. And I'm not bragging, it's unfortunate that happened actually, but you know, I could stick and move, you know.
You have a lot of confidence within yourself though, right? So you know you can go all the way to the top, and what motivates you to do so?
Oh man, what else is there to do? I mean, like I said, yoga is the way, but I need to generate some income, and I haven't figured out a good way to generate the income that I need to first of all get this right and then spread it. And I'm not just sticking only to. I'm a mixed martial artist. I'm pretty good, man, and I'm 2-0 as a professional boxer. So any of you professional boxers or professional MMA fighters that are in the UFC or any of you guys, I mean, if this is a growing promotion, y'all come hop in the ring with me. I mean, it's all good.
Now there's a lot of opportunities within this promotion, right? We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
had the press conference a few weeks ago, the merger between Big Hippie and BYB. So
Okay.
there's a lot of fighters worldwide right now.
Yeah.
Do you visualize in your mind also traveling overseas and maybe fighting some of the UK fighters over there?
Money talks, walks, man. You know, let's do it. I mean, there's some things I gotta take care of right here first, but yes, I am down.
Now you told me your nickname is Nemo, and you even got that nickname before the cartoon came out, right?
I'll explain it to you. Nemo means in Latin no one, and it's kind of like something I do in my practice where I'm not so stuck to just a government name. It's gonna sound weird, but it's like almost detaching a little bit from identity. I'm playing this game. I'm playing this whole game, but this ain't me, if that makes sense. It's something I do. I'm capable of doing it. I'm here making it happen with my body and my mind.
Now we know this is a physical game,
yes,
but it's also a mental game, right?
What's
the percentage for you of the mental aspect, and why are you so strong in that aspect?
Because I've dealt with some really severe pain already, and it's like I know there's nothing in there that's gonna hurt me any worse than the pain I've already felt mentally. Like I can't even explain to you the pain I felt mentally before. That would be horrible if I could make you feel that. But I've also broken in my second professional MMA fight actually in Dallas, I broke my right tibia in half, and that was in 2019, and that was a long recovery, and it actually it was the best thing that happened to me in hindsight, because it opened my eyes up to learning and growing to who I am in reality, you know, and not being so stuck in thoughts, and learning to separate me from my thoughts. Clarity is the way.
Amazing victory tonight, and also you're a deep thinker, and that will carry you a long way in the sport. So I'm Christian with Bare Knuckle News, and I'm here with
Logan Speyrer.
And nobody beats us to the punch. Dylan Rush, a successful BYB debut here.
Yeah, it was
in
great.
New Orleans. How do you feel right now?
Man, I feel excited as heck. I want to do that again. That was so much fun.
Now, you were in there with a very experienced opponent. He's fought in different organizations.
That was his 16th pro fight. That was my first pro fight.
And it was your bare knuckle debut. How were you able to overcome that gap in experience?
You know, even though I haven't had any pro fights before, I'm actually very experienced. I'm 12-0 as an amateur in various forms. I wrestled in college, so I'm no stranger to competition. So this was just another form of competition for me.
It was a first-round stoppage. Right after the first round, he just retired in the corner. Was it just too much punishment that you have dished out?
He hit me with one punch, and I don't know exactly. I'd have to count on film, but I think I hit him with over 20 punches. So it was just an overwhelming barrage, and he wasn't able to come out for the second round.
Did you get that feeling already at the end of the first round that he might not come back?
Well, he's a tough guy. I mean, don't get me wrong. So, and I've seen him take punishment in other fights before, so I had no idea. But at the end of the first round, I knew that I had it in the bag. There was no way he was going to be able to beat me after that first round. I think at one point I went with 15 unanswered punches towards the end of that round, so I was confident going into the second.
He also had a lot of weight on you. It almost looked like two different weight divisions in there. How were you able to kind of, protect yourself from the infight, from the clinch? Because he might have been able to lean on you, and it might have been a problem eventually.
I mean, he isn't the biggest guy. I mean, the heaviest guy I've ever fought. I fought Deutsch Puu, who is he fought in the Olympics and fought for K1. And when I fought him, he was 330 pounds. So I'm very comfortable fighting guys that outweigh me. My speed is my advantage. So bigger they are, the harder they fall, kind of thing.
How were you able to adapt to the bare knuckle game so fast?
That's a good question. I was actually a little concerned going into the fight that I wasn't really concerned about getting hit, and in fact, the punch that he did hit me with felt like it was a glove. I actually didn't feel a difference getting hit, but actually throwing the punch, the first time I hit him in the face with a hard shot with my fist, kind of actually shocked me. I haven't hit somebody with a bare fist since I was in middle school, So that definitely was a shock to the system. But the shock went away quick, and it felt like water, that I was swimming in the whole time.
A lot of bare knuckle fighters tell us they never forget the first time they hit somebody in the face with bare knuckles.
Yeah.
How is that sensation like for you? Is that also something that you just want to feel again and experience again?
Oh yeah, the adrenaline rush from that fight was like nothing I've ever felt before. I mean, I'm generally an adrenaline junkie, and that beats bungee jumping. That beats doesn't matter what. It's amazing.
Now you are from the island of Hawaii. We just saw an amazing victory by another one of your Hawaiian friends, John Bernard.
Yeah.
What is it about the Hawaiian fighters? Do you have it in the blood?
Actually, John Bernard and I have fought on the same card in Hawaii before. I've been the champion for Hawaii Toughman for the last 11 years. John Bernard was also champion of Hawaii Toughman. So we fought on the same card in Hawaii more than once. So I know him pretty well. People in Hawaii, we grow up fighting. I fought a lot in elementary school. I fought a lot in middle school. Fought some in high school. It's just the way people in Hawaii are built. We love to fight.
Island warriors, right?
Absolutely.
Now, what are your next goals right now after this amazing debut here in actually a city where there has never been a BYP fight before? So you are part of an amazing debut here in the state, right?
I'm really grateful to be part of BYP's first event here in New Orleans. I really enjoyed being here. I love it. This is my first. The last time I was in New Orleans was right after Hurricane Katrina in 2005. So this is the first time I've seen the city really how it's supposed to be seen, and I really like the city. But my next, I'm not sure who I want to fight next because I don't really know BYP's roster of heavyweights very well. But I'd like to step up in competition a little bit. My goal, within 5 or 6 fights, I'd like to be fighting for the championship.
Great goals. What actually did you do differently in training camp? We know you have an MMA background, but to prepare for bare knuckle and especially the Trigon, such a small surface, what did you do specifically for that?
I did nothing to prepare for the Trigon. I didn't have anywhere that I was going to be able to really make that thing. But in order to prepare for bare knuckle, I actually went back to old manuscripts going back to James Broughton in the 1860s. I studied film of there's actually film of some bare knuckle fights from like 1900, but a lot of those fighters from those days wrote books about how to fight bare knuckle, and so I studied a lot of those books and I trained trying to use some of those same techniques. So if you saw the way that I stood, I was standing in a very old-timey kind of bare knuckle kind of way with this hand tucked against my body, this arm a little bit farther out as defense. And I think it worked really, really well for me. I mean, I only took one punch, so it did something.
A bare knuckle historian, that's awesome. Then you will probably love that medallion that you got around your neck right now. You got it from Scott Bird. It was from the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame, right?
In fact, my the reason that I used my middle initial, Dylan G. Rush, as my nickname, is actually a copy of John L. Sullivan. It worked out perfectly because there's his face right there.
That's beautiful.
And the last thing I'd like to say is, that was a lot of fun, but our president just got shot today, and I'd like to say God bless Donald Trump, and I hope that he's okay.
Now, last question: what motivates you to do this every single day and go out there and perform?
Oh, the adrenaline, man. I just love it. There's nothing like I get. The fear that builds before a fight, it's about like the week leading up to the fight. The fear builds in your body, and you have to control that fear and use your breathing and use your mind to control that and make it work for you. Fear is a tool, and you can make it work for you. And being able to do that is a great challenge for myself.
For the main event tonight, the Police Gazette Diamond Belt is on the line, which is an extremely historic belt as well. Is that something that you want to win one day as well?
Absolutely. I'm coming back.
All right, Dylan, congrats on an amazing debut victory here in New Orleans. My name is Christian Schneeweihs, and I'm here with
Dylan Rush.
And nobody beats us to the punch.
St. Louis City, where I live